Despite the immense torture, pain, and despair,
every fiber in my body hurts.
Tonight, the families of those killed in a Charleston church are choosing to forgive.
May God have mercy on you.
As a community broken is now trying to mend.
If that young man thought he was going to divide this community, he miserably failed.
Just hours ago, thousands of people attended a vigil in downtown Charleston. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Natalie Pasquarella. As anchor Blair Miller is here now to explain, they came together to remember the 9 people who were shot and killed in that church, Blair.
Natalie, of course, it has now been 2 full days since that shooting in Charleston. And tonight we heard from leaders in that community trying to help the city heal, but also help protect the victims' families. The chilling sound to fill the silence in a community where the pain runs deep. This vigil in Charleston tonight, through song and prayer, focused on the victims.
The family of Tywanza Sanders.
Their stories and their fight to live life to the fullest. But also here tonight, just a few blocks from the church where the horror took place, a city began the fight to heal.
We pray in the street. We comfort each other. We are all one family, nor race, nor creed, nor religion. We are one family in this community.
Earlier today, with the suspect in court, the victims' families wept about their broken hearts. But some of those families even resonated with forgiveness.
We have no room for hate.
You have killed some of the most beautifulest people that I know.
Words of grief for the 9 people who left too soon. Also tonight, Charleston Mayor Joe Riley talked about gun control. He called it a complicated issue, but also said we can't ignore it and must have a national discussion. Natalie.
Blair, thank you for that look at that tribute there. Dylan Roof's family released a statement tonight extending their deepest sympathy and condolences to the families of the victims. It says in part, quote, "Words cannot express our shock, grief, and disbelief as to what happened that night. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families and friends of those killed this week. We have all been touched by the moving words from the victims' families, offering God's forgiveness and love in the face of such horrible suffering." New court documents released this afternoon show Roof's family actually helped police identify him as the suspect in the shooting. Eyewitness News reporter Alexa Ashwell read through the affidavit in this case. She's live in our newsroom now to explain, really, Alexa, the chilling details outlined in it.
Yes, Natalie, these new court documents revealed it was Roof's father and uncle who called police after they recognized him in these surveillance pictures. The documents also stated he made a racial remark while standing over top a witness of the shooting.
Mr. Roof, you're charged with 9 counts of murder.
Just hours after witnessing Dylan Roof in court.
What is your age?
21.
You're 21 years old. Are you employed?
No, sir.
Channel 9 obtained these documents, providing more detail as to what investigators said happened inside the historic Emmanuel AME Church, where Roof is accused of shooting and killing 9 people. It says Roof entered the church, quote, at approximately 8:06 p.m. with a fanny pack and met with parishioners who were conducting Bible study. This Snapchat photo, CNN reported, was posted by one of the victims, shows Roof sitting in the study. An hour later, Roof reportedly stood up and, with malice and aforethought, pulled out a handgun and began shooting. And before he left, stood over a witness and uttered a racially inflammatory statement. That comment wasn't detailed in the document, but the cousin of one of the survivors relayed a remark she said Roof made.
He said, no, you've raped our women and you are taking over the country.
After releasing these surveillance pictures, the document said Roof's father and uncle called police and positively identified him and his Hyundai. The father added his son, quote, owns a .45 caliber handgun, matching the type of casings investigators said they found at the scene.
Now, a judge set Roof's bond at $1 million. That's only for the weapons charge. There was no bond set for the 9 counts of murder. Reporting live in the newsroom, Alexa Ashwell, Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 10.
Alexa, thanks. Now, that suspect isn't due in court for months. The judge set Roof's next court date for October 23rd. Documents show it's for his first court appearance. It's not clear right now what will be discussed, though. In that hearing, experts say his case could last 6 months if he pleads guilty, or about 3 years if prosecutors pursue the death penalty. A death penalty case would be very costly for Charleston County, but experts believe the county will view it as money that needs to be spent. Well, early this morning, South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley said she believes he should face it.
I have absolutely no problem with the death penalty. In South Carolina, you do something like this to 9 families, you will absolutely pay the price. We will fight this as hard as we possibly can.
Tonight, the Department of Justice has opened a hate crime investigation into the Charleston church massacre. The U.S. Attorney General promised to prosecute the suspect to the fullest extent of the law. Still ahead at 10:30, we dug through the records to find out how often hate crimes are reported in the Carolinas. That's coming up. A big story tonight. Trees fell, power lines snapped, fire sparked as strong storms moved through the Charlotte area this afternoon. Some of the most serious damage we saw was in Mooresville tonight. Want to get right over to Chief Meteorologist Steve Udelson, tracking where the last of the showers are and what we can all expect for the Father's Day weekend, Steve.
Yeah, now slowly these showers are dying out. You saw one pushing up I-85 out of Cleveland into Gaston County. That was actually warned on as a severe storm. There isn't even any lightning left. Rain rate still about 1 inch an hour just south of Gastonia along 321. That's going to push to the east, cross the Catawba, arrive in Mount Holly in about 15 minutes. Uptown Charlotte about 10:30, quarter of 11. The NODA neighborhood a little before 11. You can see Charlotte a little bit after that. The only storm really left is up here in Lancaster County, right along Highway 9, and that's pushing on to the east. It'll move into Chesterfield County toward Taxahaw and Pageland by about 10:40 or so. Mountain seeing some showers. These are just plain old rain showers, though, up over Caldwell County. Before we had the rain, Boyd, we dealt with the heat again. 6th straight day of temperatures above 95 degrees in Charlotte. We officially hit 96. I'll show you how that goes down in history and if temperatures will go down at all as we head through the weekend.
We're all ready to hear about the temperatures going down, Steve. Thanks. A family is dealing with some damage tonight after a fire ripped through their home. Firefighters responded to Sir Francis Drake Drive in South Charlotte tonight. Look at those flames going there. Check out this video. Channel 9 learned that a firefighter actually got stuck in that home's attic and had to be rescued. Firefighters also saved that dog, cute little dog there, from the flames, but luckily here the homeowners were not home. A neighbor says he thinks it was a lightning strike that sparked it.
It was thundering very hard, and then a lightning struck, and then just after we heard like the thunder, so we knew it was in the neighborhood where it struck.
Now we are working to find out an official cause. Officials told Channel 9 another firefighter out at the scene did need fluids from medic because of the extreme heat. A Rowan County house is damaged after fire tore through it. You see the picture there. The house on Daugherty Road near China Grove caught fire just after dawn today. Steve Udelson tracked last night's storms in that area, our chief meteorologist, and said it's very likely that a lightning strike sparked that fire. 14 fire departments responded and kept the fire from taking that entire home.
It was hard to get to several parts of the house, but they were able to adapt and overcome, and they've done a tremendous job saving the house. As you can see, there's still a lot of the home that's saved.
Investigators say they have to wait for the remains to cool down before they can go in and get in there. New tonight, Charlotte's water request to take over service for some residents is back on City Council's agenda for Monday. It wants to spend $2.5 million to buy water and sewer systems from Aqua, North Carolina, in Ash Plantation and a couple other areas. The proposal was on their agenda last week, but council members said they had some questions and they took it off. Now, you'll remember Channel 9's been investigating neighbors' complaints about Aqua for years. In 2013, I showed you that murky brown water coming from some faucets and homes there in Ash Plantation. At the time, the Aqua CEO did insist that the water was safe to drink. Burke County deputies arrested one of their most wanted suspects. They charged Alvin Ingram after an undercover informant tracked his movements. Our partners at the News Herald told us a takedown team chased him down Wednesday. Ingram faces multiple charges, including possession of drug paraphernalia, breaking and entering, and larceny as well. Channel 9 has learned some new information after police say a car crashed and caught on fire early this morning, and that killed the driver. Police say 21-year-old Andrea Vallejo was driving a Nissan Altima there when it veered off of the Billy Graham Parkway and crashed into a tree, flew down an embankment right around 4 a.m. Billy Graham Parkway between Tyvola Road and West Boulevard was shut down for hours while police investigated. I-77 Mobility Partners has launched Facebook and Twitter accounts. It says will give drivers up-to-date traffic information once the toll lane project begins. Officials say they'll also provide updates on the progress of construction. They are still suggesting people post questions and comments about the project on their website. As we know, it has not been a popular plan for cities and counties all along the route there on I-77. A lot of them have passed resolutions, as we've reported, asking the NCDOT to delay the project or to terminate its contract with Cintra altogether. And just this week, Mecklenburg County became the latest local government to pass a resolution asking to stop those toll lanes. A convicted sex offender in New York now faces charges in Iredell County. According to our partners at The Record and Landmark, it's reporting Michael Frediani is charged with attempted first-degree sex offense, accused of assaulting a 6-year-old. The Record and Landmark said Frediani was convicted of sex abuse in New York back in 1996 and spent less than 3 years in prison. A stowaway on a British Airways jet was found dead after falling on a roof near London's Heathrow Airport. The plane was flying from Johannesburg, South Africa, to London when the man fell. The two cities are 6,000 miles apart. The flight is nearly 12 hours long. A second man was also found hiding in the undercarriage of the plane. The airline says he was hospitalized with injuries. An investigation is underway into how the two got on board. And you might remember way back in 2010, a Charlotte teen died when he hid in a wheel well on a flight to Boston. Authorities said Delvante Tisdale jumped the fence at Charlotte Douglas and got into the plane. His body fell out when the landing gear was deployed on the approach to Boston. Flags are flying at half-staff to honor the Charleston victims, but the Confederate flag wasn't lowered despite growing controversy, why lawmakers say it can't be. Also tonight, still to come, storms toppled trees, sparked fires, the close call for one man when a tree came crashing down on his home.
With tonight's storms winding down, I'm focusing on tomorrow and why the swirl of clouds and storms to our west may impact our Father's Day weekend.